Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be taking a look into a possibility of a severe weather slash tornado outbreak on Easter Sunday across the South. Now let's go to get started with the SPC outlook here. And as you can see here on day 3, we have a moderate risk already. This includes across northern Louisiana, central Mississippi, central western Alabama, and southeastern Arkansas. Meanwhile, you got enhanced risks surrounding that, expanding as far north as Tennessee, as far east as central Georgia, and as far west as Texas there. And this is going to be a really big deal here, and we do expect this enhanced risk to expand some more here, as the models are really starting to get in a pretty good agreement here of what could potentially happen here. We'll be taking a look into the NAM model. We even have the NAM 3KM model, but it does not go for the entire event, but it does go for first couple portions of the event. But first, let's take a look into my forecast here. And as you can see here, I've issued moderate risk as well. This include the only difference I've made here is to include Central Tennessee here because of the damage wind threat there. Not for the tornadoes, but for the damage wind threat. If you're in the enhanced risk, you have the potential for some strong tornadoes. It is definitely possible. And an AM60 shows the possibility of strong tornadoes as far north as Kentucky, which is very surprising. So we were we gotta really keep an eye on this here. But the enhanced risk across the north is mainly for the damage and wind threat. Uh, and as you can see here, damage and wind's 45% SIG. We may get to see that upgraded. Large hail is at a 30% chance, and the tornadoes is at a 15% and significant, which that means there's a possibility of some strong tornadoes out there, especially in the moderate risk area. Even for some areas in the enhanced risk area, could even see a couple of strong tornadoes as well. Now, the slight risk, however, the tornado risk is a little lower, but the damage and wind threat is still there. Hail threat's a little lower end as well, and the marginal risk is it's pretty much a low end severe weather threat. So, and again, this is going to be a very large area. This severe weather outbreak can include portions of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Alabama, portions of Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Missouri, in Tennessee. I mean, this is going to be affecting a lot of states on this Easter Sunday, and this might get called the outbreak of Easter Sunday or whatever for this day. And so far, we just keep on getting more and more bad news coming in here. And what's worse about it, it's expanding and it's expanding northward. So, by models yesterday, it keeps on continuing to expand northward, and that is definitely we do not want here in Kentucky. But because we just had an area of damage of winds, and that caused a lot of damage across the entire state. And we're not the only ones as well. That was Indiana, Tennessee as well, had a hard hit by those storms. So it seems like we're going to see something like that again on Easter Sunday, later into the evening hours, which let's take a look into the nail model. And oh yeah, let me tell you guys something. On one of my videos here, it was actually on a live stream. It was a live severe weather update about that severe weather event slash MCS possibility that I made 5 days ago. And I updated my April 2020 forecast, severe weather forecast. And some of you guys probably missed it, but I made it a quick update and I found that video to show you proof here. Look how similar this is. The only major change I made to this here is I've expanded southward, and moved it a little bit southward as well. This is kind of insane here. In that red area, severe weather slash tornado outbreaks are possible. Even for the with what we're going to be seeing on Easter weekend here, it's in that same area. Very similar, extremely similar here to what I have for the moderate risk. So this is unfortunately verifying, which is something pretty insane. This is what I've been having on my mind, where we have a system coming from the west, then as it starts to move to the northeast, it dramatically drops pressure, and you have a severe weather slash tornado outbreak potential. And guess what? Looks like that's going to be the case with this system. And this is what I've been kind of waiting for the past couple of weeks for this to happen. And it looks like it's going to happen on Easter Sunday, which that's stuff that I was going to show you guys. Very, very interesting here. But let's go ahead and move back to the models here. Um, and as you can see here, let's go to pass for the next couple of days here. And let's get to Sunday morning here. And as you can see here, you got some showers of thunderstorms in the area, which I believe that might be a warm front, possibly. I'm not 100% sure, but as you get to the early afternoon hours here, or in the morning hours, you actually have some scattered showers of thunderstorms that develop, and some of those might be supercells. I Now I actually believe this is your warm front right here. There goes your warm front here. Then you actually got an area of supercells that might develop across Mississippi. Your low pressure system looks to be over Arkansas at this point. So this is 21Z. So this is about 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Around there. And if we go to the next hour, here's your area of supercells right here. But look to the north here. You actually got a squall line of strong to severe thunderstorms that are developing in that area. Now, I have been having some issues with forecast outings, as you can see here. It is not loading in, which is very weird. Oh, now it is. Now it is, of course. I was not able to see photographs or anything for the past half hour or so, but now we're able to see photographs now, which is nice. And then, and here comes your actual line of storms here, and as you can see there, it's a pretty intense line of storms. So, and that sweeps by there as well. That's why I have the enhancers push north because of the damage wind threat. It's not really much for the tornado threat. It's actually for the damage wind threat, and we might get to see that moderate risk get pushed up that way. Now we'll take a look to the day 3 cave in a moment because it shows it pretty well. And then on the 0Z of the NAM, it's showing something a little bit different than that. Uh, but it's a little bit worse than what the 12Z is showing here. Oh yeah, by the way, the SPC will update tonight on the day 3 outlook. As we get to day 2, it will have 2 updates during the day. So yeah, and let's go ahead and get to around that day, and as you can see are very high values there. We got 29 showing up in northern Mississippi. Hopefully I can take a look into some forecast soundings here. Hopefully it can load. It's been very slow, and pretty much any area in a severe weather zone, you're going to find possible hazard type PDS tornado. Anywhere across the south. I mean, we're talking about like Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, even for maybe portions of Arkansas and Tennessee, you will find a PDS tornado icon with this here. I mean, the atmosphere is just that tornadic, and there is strong levels of shear. It seems like low level shear is a little bit weaker, but as these parts get to this white line right here, that means there is very high levels of shear. And that's a really concerning factor of this here. And as you can see here, how this is expanding north. And now this is getting into the Tennessee and Kentucky state line. And you still got a PDS tornado icon here. So I think my forecast is pretty realistic with this here. And it's a 10 over here at eastern Kentucky. And keep in mind, we are really close to the low pressure system. It's right now, um, it's moving fast, first of all. There's tons of wind energy with this, so there is going to be really big problems with damage winds here. And as you can see here for the photograph there, it's not really show Peter's tornado icon, but we're going to see some really bad situation with damage winds. When that squall one comes through, they're going to produce very strong winds. We might even see 90-mile-an-hour winds. That is definitely possible. And Kentucky seen again saw a damage wind event. At least most of Kentucky, and have developed up in Illinois, went through Indiana, went through Kentucky. It kind of lasted somewhere in the southeast. And that was a big damage wind event, which I have a video uploading about that when the severe storms got to my house. And part one will be uploaded later today. But let's go back to well, the point of that is, it. I think it could be worse than that with this type of setup here. When the squall line gets here, it's going to really it's going to bring a punch. It really is. And this is something we really need to keep an eye on. Because the ball's in a really good agreement that there's going to be a squall line that develops that brings in a really good severe weather event. It's probably going to be about as bad as the intense storms that went through Indiana and Kentucky. If you guys remember all the tornado warnings around Cincinnati, and we might see something like that, and that is just not good. It's just not good at all. Now keep in mind all the other ingredients are in place. So the lap rates, they're kind of steep. There's areas above 7, and there's some areas actually exceeding 8. The lift index is good to go. The CAPE, there's going to be plenty of that. The energy helicity index is going to be good to go as well. So all the ingredients is really in place for a pretty good severe weather / tornado outbreak here. Here's your significant tornado parameters. Really, over a 1, you'll probably have some problems, a little bit of problems, but when you get up to DR6, that's pretty high. And as you can see there, those numbers goes pretty far north, as far north as northern Kentucky. So that is something else here. So really, a couple of days ago, Kentucky and Tennessee was not really involved with this severe weather threat. Now they are. So this is something we really need to keep an eye on. And I haven't really taken a look much into the European model, and I've heard, or what I've seen, it's going to be extremely windy. Yeah, it's going to be extremely windy. We'll take a look to the European model on a different website here. But let's take a look into the NAM3 cam, which we have the reflectivity plus the updraft helicity. So it's right now kind of off of your screen here, but as you can see here, there's some updraft helicity values down there, so there's definitely supercells down there in Louisiana. Let's go on for the next couple hours. You still got supercells all going across, looks to be Mississippi. Go to the next hour, there might be some supercells going on in Arkansas, as you can see here with these little black areas in there. And it looks like there could be supercell storms in Alabama. And this is your warm front, I do believe. This is your warm front. So these winds are going to be going strong out of the south. And this is the bad news here. This is really bad news. There's a dry slot in here. A dry slot in here. There's also a cap in place. And this is bad news because you do not want this. You will want widespread rain for this event. This is an event that you do not want any sun at all. Now, I believe there will be some cloud cover down there that could help a little bit, but and this is really bad news. This is really good really increase the atmosphere to be more unstable, and it's just gonna make it a really bad environment. You know what I'm saying here. I don't know any words to put it, but and again here with that warm front, you got supercells going on in possibly central Tennessee there. Go to the next hour. Here you go. You got a round of showers of storms. Here's some supercell storms out in Mississippi. Again, pretty lonely supercell out here. Going to the next hour here. Look at this squall line here. This is the area of storms that we really need to keep an eye on. There's some supercells that could possibly be going on there. Then we go into the last hour. Look at this thing right here. Now this is pretty significant here, and it's even showing some supercells back into Arkansas as well, which is pretty interesting. But this is probably going to be the main show right here. It's this squall line right here. Now the 3KF doesn't really show too much of any supercells because of the updraft helicity. There's not a lot of that. There's even showing some supercells up into Kentucky. But this squall line here is going to cause major problems. Let me tell you that these Boeing segments, like right here, they're going to produce some serious damage winds. So this is something we really need to keep an eye on. We'll take a look at the supercell composite and the significant tornado parameters, then we'll move on to the European model. And as you can see here, very high values. There's a 32 in central Mississippi. And this is nearly maxed out at just above a 10. You got a lot of instability, you got a lot of cape, you got a lot of shear. And the ingredients are just good for pretty sharp tornadoes. So let's go up to near Tennessee. I don't think we're going to get it. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get it, but let's go into the significant tornado parameters. And again, over a 1, you'll have some issues. As you can see here, you got some pockets of about a 5, 5.5 actually, in a few areas. Look out here in Mississippi showing 7s, well, close to 7, 6.9. It's just extremely high. You know, this is going to be really bad. And for my area, which is up here, this is going to be a continually expand north. Looks like it's not going to be not as far north as what the dam has it. So, but we'll see. The trends so far have been more to Kentucky. Well, the expansion of the severe weather threat, there's been a pretty good trend into Kentucky to be included with this severe weather event. So, yeah. And let's go ahead and go to windy here. So we'll talk about those strong winds here. So this is the European model. We also have the lightning flash intensity as well. So this is 1 o'clock here. Your low pressure system's over Oklahoma. It looks like it's a little further west, I believe, than what some of the other balls had it. But so this is 6 o'clock here. You got a lot of supercells across Louisiana, portions of Mississippi, even in Arkansas as well. Here's 10 o'clock. At this point, you got areas supercells as far north as Kentucky here. Even maybe getting close to the Ohio River as well, over Louisville. That's 10 o'clock. Here's 1 a.m. You still got supercells going as far north as Kentucky, across the entire state of Alabama and Tennessee. And it seems like the European model keeps on going north, which is, there's some good news for the south, in that it's decreasing the amount of shear. But let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to 11 o'clock in the morning. Let's take a look at those survey winds here and see how they increase here during the day. Now, as you can see here, very strong survey winds here. Winds gusting about 55 to 60 miles per hour. Here's 12 a.m. Look at these winds across Alabama. Now, I believe this is thunderstorm winds. 86 miles per hour. Looking up into Kentucky, about 70 miles per hour. Let's go to the GFS here. Very similar track here. Now, I think the only difference here is the storms are a little too far out ahead, which is kind of an outlier. We should probably look into the flash intensity, lightning flash intensity. As you can see here, it's actually not that high, surprisingly enough. But yeah, and let's take a look into the NAM here. And it only goes out to 1 p.m. tomorrow. But as you can see here, pretty strong winds out ahead of it. So this is not really looking good at this point. And here's the Cape Index here for an European model. As you can see here, pretty good Cape values as far north as even Indiana. So again, really over 1,000 Cape, you're going to have some issues. We're tripling that in a few areas. But uh, let's see. Let's talk about cloud cover a little bit. So cloud covers is going to be something to really keep an eye on. I think it'll be alright with 100% clouds, but as you can see here, for some areas like across here in Alabama, it's about 65%, which is not good. That means that there's some sun showing through. If we go a little further north, there's actually even some less cloud cover up across Kentucky, surprisingly enough. Indication by the European model. Here's the GFS is 100% cloud cover, pretty much everybody, but it's not that high res of a model. But you know, the NAND 3K is showing something pretty similar, which I think that's a little bit more realistic. But if we go a little bit more towards the European model, we're going to have some issues here. And I mean it. So, and again, just be prepared for some really bad severe weather. I'll definitely have another update on this tomorrow. But anyways, guys, I'm going to end it here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this severe weather update. If you guys did like this update, hit that like button. If you really do like my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. If you guys got questions about this, you can put a comment section down below. I will answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.